who can, please rise. Call on Phil Murphy, past National Chaplain of the Sons of the American Legion, to provide us with an invocation. Please uncover. Almighty Father, your own Son was a prisoner. Condemned, he died for us. Victorious, he returned to bring us the gift of life everlasting. Comfort us now in the longing for the return of our prisoners of war and those missing in action. Help us, Father. Help us, inspire us to remove the obstacles. Give courage to those who know the truth to speak out. Grant wisdom to the negotiators and compassion to the jailers. Inspire the media to speak out as loudly as they have in the past. Protect those who seek in secret and help them to succeed. Show us the tools to do your will. Guard and bless those in captivity, their families, and those who work for their release. Let them come home soon. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. And I'll call on General Lady Ledoux, the Secretary of the Joint Veterans Committee, to lead us in the pledge.
Please join me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Please remain standing while we call on Abby Saba, a senior at Bourne High School, for the national anthem. Be seated, please. I'd like to recognize all the officers and members of all the different veterans organizations that came out. You know, we have a lot of state commanders and vice commanders and all, but I don't have all your names, so I'm not going to individualize you, but I'm happy you all showed up, and I thank you for coming out. Also, I'd like to thank our state representative, Randy Hunt. Randy went off to coming out with us today. Thank you, Randy. Good evening. And thank you all for coming out and joining us for our inaugural POW MIA National Day of Recognition ceremony. My name is Frank McDonald, and I am the chairman of the Joint Veterans Committee here at the National Cemetery, and I will be your MC for today's ceremony. Today's ceremony is twofold. First and foremost, and most importantly, it is to pay homage to our brothers and sisters who have not returned home and are listed as prisoner of war or missing in action. Secondly, it is to bring awareness to this beautiful monument that the Joint Veterans Committee was influential in establishing, but we feel not many know that it exists. Originally, the flame of the monument was an internal flame.
It had LED lights that changed colors to light the flame. But during construction of the new administration building, the power was inadvertently cut and went unnoticed, so no repairs were made. The Joint Veterans Committee will be leading the way to determine how we can get the flame lit once again. We'll keep you informed of our progress, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from me as I ask for assistance in forming a subcommittee once the plan is in place. Thank you. I now call on the Patriot Guard Riders to drape the chair to the POW flag. I now once again call on Bill Murphy, past National Chaplain of the American Legion, Sons of the American Legion, to explain the missing man table.
Those who have served and those that are currently serving in the uniformed services of the United States are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and imprisonment. We call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as our prisoners of war or missing in action. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with us or be with their loved ones or their families. So we join together to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued absence. The table is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood they may have shed in their sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. The rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon on the vase represents the red ribbons worn on the lapels of the thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper account of our comrades who are not among us. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears of their families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of a grateful nation. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid their supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. And may God forever watch them and protect them and their families.
Thank you, Billy. It is now my honor to introduce to you the newest member of the National Cemetery, Assistant Director, Richard Wallace.
Disabled American Veterans Auxiliary State Commander Hurley, Vice Commander Pratt, members of the Veteran Service Organizations, distinguished guests, fellow veterans, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Massachusetts National Cemetery. If this is your first time visiting the cemetery, I encourage you to walk these hallowed grounds, and I promise you that you will leave here today with a proud feeling knowing that the men and women who lie here before you, some who have made the ultimate sacrifice, are the reasons for the freedoms we enjoy today. I want to thank you for gathering here tonight to share in this year's observance of the National POW Recognition Day. Since 1979, this observation has come to symbolize our steadfast resolve to never forget the men and women who gave up their freedom to protect ours. Any serviceman member that goes into combat is expected to adhere to the code of the U.S. fighting force, vowing to never surrender, evade capture, resist while a prisoner, or escape from the enemy. May our remembrance of their brave actions at the hands of the enemy, their stories of unimaginable hardships and captivity, and their never-ending faith in country inspire us all to be better Americans. Whether their imprisonment lasted a few weeks or many years, during that trying time when there was no end in sight for those brave men and women, only hope and a will to bear the unbearable and to endure the unthinkable kept them alive so they could return to a grateful nation. As we remember their sacrifices, our hearts go out to the families whose loved ones still remain missing. Their agony and uncertainty lingers day after day and year after year. Their special courage is only equaled by that of their missing service member. Let us keep their sacrifice in our thoughts and prayers and pledge that we never forget until all return home. Thank you.
I call on the Paper Gun Riders to present the wreath for all our POWs and MIAs. Honor God. Honor the dead.
Detail, okay, hut, port, outside, face, ready, aim, fire, aim, recover. Detail, order, arm.
I'll call on past National Chaplain Bill Murphy for benediction.
Once again uncovered. Almighty Father, who suffers in the affliction of your children, we call upon you now from the depths of our anxiety and great concern for our countrymen and loved ones who have fallen into the hands of the nation's foes. They've fallen in the face of the evils that the brave men and women endure below the grim burdens they are now forced to bear. Please give them courage and hope and a never-failing confidence in you. But most of all, O God, we ask that the day will soon come when we can all celebrate their release and safe return to their homes and families. Give to all of us who wait in hope in the face of every disappointment the will to preserve in the cause of peace and the will to conquer hate with love and endure every doubt with a renewed faith in you. We ask this in your name. Amen.
This concludes our ceremony, and I thank you all for coming out this evening. I believe this will become an annual ceremony like our Veterans Day and Memorial Day ceremonies. Those who can, please rise. Call on Phil Murphy, past National Chaplain of the Sons of the American Legion, to provide us with an invocation.
Please uncover. Almighty Father, your own Son was a prisoner. Condemned, he died for us. Victorious, he returned to bring us the gift of life everlasting. Comfort us now in the longing for the return of our prisoners of war and those missing in action. Help us, Father. Help us, inspire us to remove the obstacles. Give courage to those who know the truth to speak out. Grant wisdom to the negotiators and compassion to the jailers. Inspire the media to speak out as loudly as they have in the past. Protect those who seek in secret and help them to succeed. Show us the tools to do your will. Guard and bless those in captivity, their families, and those who work for their release. Let them come home soon. In your name we pray. Amen.
And I'll call on General Lady Ledoux, the Secretary of the Joint Veterans Committee, to lead us in the pledge.
Please join me. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Please remain standing while we call on Abby Sava, a senior at Bourne High School, for the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Abby. Yeah, be seated, please. I'd like to recognize all the officers and members of all the different veterans organizations that came out. You know, we have a lot of state commanders and vice commanders and all, but I don't have all your names, so I'm not going to individualize you, but I'm happy you all showed up, and I thank you for coming out. Also, I'd like to thank our state representative, Randy Hunt. Randy went off to coming out with us today. Thank you, Randy. Good evening, and thank you all for coming out and joining us for our inaugural POW MIA National Day of Recognition ceremony. My name is Frank McDonald, and I am the chairman